URT, we pick up the URT. This is the URT. Smash a like for the URT. Big up the URT. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Got amazed in it. I thought Barca were cheated tonight. Atletico Madrid have gone through. Liverpool are out. Paris Saint-Germain has gone through 4-0 on aggregate. 2-0 at Paris. 2-0 at Anfield. They're out. And Barcelona were cheated tonight. Barcelona were cheated. I think Kunda's getting in the cover. It wasn't a red card. It was not a red card. Both similar parts of the pitch get sent off. I thought they got cheated tonight. They got cheated, Barcelona. They got absolutely cheated. I think Arsenal will beat. I'll be shocked if Arsenal don't beat Atletico Madrid. I would have loved to have seen Arsenal versus Barcelona. That's what I wanted, but it's not the way it is. But we are where we are, people. We've got a jam-packed show for you tonight, seriously. I don't want to get it twisted, people. We're going to talk about Steve Holland. We're going to be talking about last night, what we saw last night and the excuses people are making. We're going to be talking about all and everything. So strap in, get a drink after watching that. And I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so. I don't think they have the players to beat Arsenal. Well, to be fair, they might if they press them hard, like what you call it did it, like Bournemouth did it. They might be able to. But we got a jam-packed show for you tonight, people. Jam-packed show for you tonight. Seriously, excuses galore. People are making excuses about the red card and this and that, and about the challenges and the F that. That's just absolute distraction. We're going to be talking about Steve Holland, and then we're going to be talking about Arsenal bottling the league. But all of it will be back as soon as we get here. Big up Esky. Esky's about better watch out. Esky, we're back after this intro. We've got a lot to talk about tonight, bro. Let's be having. Esky's about better watch out, people. Esky, talk to me about last night. Talk to me about last night, lad.
Look,
please don't tell me this. You're falling for this Carrick excuses, bro. Please don't tell me. Talk to me. How did you see the game? Did you watch the game last night?
I watched the game. Jordan, it was from minute about fact. Jordan, it is certain games you can watch and you just know it's not going to be our night tonight. It was just one of them days. And look, anyone that does anything at a professional level or at a high level consistently, or even goes to work, when you take a 2-week, 3-week holiday and you come back into work, you're not sharp. Hold on. You're a coach. Yeah. You got badges. You know, with certain players they come back. No one was good. I don't think the manager had a good performance. I'll be the first to say that. Michael Carrick made a lot of mistakes yesterday. Not changing anyone at that second half was a joke. I think I'm almost vindicated in the whole starting Sesko thing, because for me, I don't think we're a good enough team to be starting Sesko, because, like I said, if he's statistically the best guy to bring on and he impacts games, right, we're not a good enough side. We know that. So why would you then start your killer? Because he doesn't do well when he starts statistically, because there's enough evidence to suggest that. If we just started Mbeumo, he's not been playing great in Mbeumo, he's not, but what he does is he offers us just an outball, always an outball, and you can say, oh, it's not good, it's not sustainable, this, that, and the third. But right now, it's crunch time. Last 7 games of the season, no one plays their pattern of play, no one plays their designed, this is what we've trained for part of the season. Everyone's fighting for something. Teams are fighting to stay up, teams are fighting for trophies, teams are fighting for Europe, right? And then mid-table teams, whatever, they're just having a laugh. But for us, we're trying to get into the top 5, right? You know, yeah, big up everyone in the chat. But what I'm trying to say is, with that being said, I just got to chalk it down to if we play anything like that in the next game, big questions have to be asked. But for me, I think it should have started in Bumble up top. Sesko on the bench, and we need to do that for the next game. For the rest of our games, have him on the bench. It's not nothing to do with his ability right now. If he's harboring an injury, fine. But for me, he comes on, fucking onto the pitch, and he scores goals. He's a havoc. He sees what's going on. Michael gives him the instruction, and we usually do better after Mbembo's ran whoever ragged, right? He comes on and he does well. So for me, yesterday, no one covered themselves in glory. You know, people of a certain vintage. I know myself the rivalry between Leeds and Man United. Yeah, just Google it, guys. Yeah, look at your history and stuff. In it back in the hooligans beginners of days, people would just go to Leeds and vice versa just to fight. It was a big thing back then, innit? So I'm not, that's football's changed now, but a lot of these sentiments are still held. They're going to cherish that result probably forever. 40 years, they've not won at Old Trafford. That is a big fucking result. They're a bigger rivalry to us, really, than Man City. Right, they're a local thing, but historically, they are a bigger rival because City have been fuck all for time, and they've been down there. But Leeds, big rivalry there. Cantona, Rio, everyone knows, right? But at the end of the day, we just weren't good enough on the night. I think Euro, because the thing is, we had an injury to Mainu, and like you're saying with the whole four midfielder thing, innit? People can look at that now and say, yeah, it makes sense. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm saying it's just unrealistic because I know what we are. So realistically, we're going to sound like 2-3 midfielders max, and that's it. Idealistically, the four, it makes sense, but we're just trying to be real in the whole thing. But yeah, like I said, man, it's just one of them. Anyone who was on the Carrick out thing, you've got your hit piece now. You can run this everywhere and say, oh, look at this at home to Leeds 40 years. You've got your shtick there. People that want the manager to stay, there's that aside as well. So for me, like I said, just take it one game at a time. The club will be interviewing loads of different managers. Every game Michael Carrick manages is an interview for the position, basically. So we need to see how we bounces back from the loss, because we've not lost the game. Right, we've drawn points. This is his first loss under his reign, right? So we need to see how we bounce back from a loss. This is his first loss at home as well. He's not lost at home. So let's just see how it goes and just take it from there. But like I said, I don't think we can look too much into that game. It was complete rust. If we play anything like that mirrored in next game, nah, it's rust, bro. I can't. I'm sorry.
The way you're reading, bro, you are.
It's the rust.
I swear to God. If Michael Carrick is ever in trouble, he needs to employ you, mate.
No. I'm the club first. I don't care who's in the seat. You could be in the seat, Nuruddin. I'll be behind you. Yeah? I'll be your fucking set piece coach. I don't care. It's the club. And for me, he's doing all right for now. If he doesn't get the job, Nuruddin, and they give it to someone else, I'll back that guy, innit? So, yeah, man, that's it. Big up in it, man. But if you Carrick in, shout me, man. Bumbaye's out there. Fucking Mandem is out there. Everyone's out there, man. So, we'll see in it, man. Well, how did you see it going? I think I know what you're going to say, but I need to hear it. Break it down.
The excuses are embarrassing for me. From minute one, in that first half, it could have been 5-0. They missed 3 sitters.
Yeah, I agree.
Been with one of the worst away team on record. This is their first win in 11. They're dog shite away from home, and they blocked us from pillar to post last night. Big up Saeed for the raid, by the way, and Rants for the raid. People,
you're big up, man. Yes.
Give you with the Champions League results tonight. Liverpool are out. Barcelona are out. Barcelona were cheated. Atletico Madrid beat them 3-2 on aggregate. But I thought Barcelona were cheated. Eric Garcia got sent off where Kunda was undercover. I think he was a yellow card. Kunda was undercover. And he could have kept it 11 against 11. But what a game. What an incredibly entertaining game. Big up to Saeed and Rants for the raids. Appreciate everybody that's here. Please like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. While I'm there, I'm actually going to put up the poll because every time we're live, we do a poll. Are United, are the Carrick defenders making too much excuses for last night? It's simple.
Bring it on.
It's absolutely simple as that. That's all I want to know. But last night, we got slammed. It could have been 5-0 when we had 11 against 11. We actually played. When we had 10 players, we played a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the way I look at it, I think that we were shit. This has been coming since the Bournemouth game. And now I'm worried for Chelsea. I'm worried for Brentford, Liverpool, Sunderland. United have got 6 games left. And I am worried about every one of them because I knew this was in the team. Carrick has got 0 in-game management. Absolute zilt. Steve Holland is a fraud, if I ever saw a fraud. And what I saw last night was the similar things with Gareth Southgate, where England fans are all begging for him to make a change. But his number 2 is there, cautious pragmatism. And Carrick has zero plan B. How many times did the camera pan to Carrick last night speaking to Steve Holland doing this? And Zilt, 70th minute to make changes. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. I would have bought on Sersky and I would have bought on that young guy, the young Scouse lad on the
Share
wing.
Lacey
Share
Lacey on the wing. Share Lacey, yeah.
Lacey would have been on and he would have been on. And I would have maybe took off Sesko and said, you know what, come closer, hold up the ball for us a bit more and get us into the game a bit more. But that's what I would have done. I would have made 2 substitutions and he didn't. And it is shocking. And no defense league can defend what I saw last night. But carry on.
Like I said, look, chat, come for me, man. If you've got to say your piece for Michael Carrick and why he shouldn't get the job, I'm here for it because, look, at the end of the day, do you know what it was, Nuruddin? That was a throwback Ten Hag performance. Drummond used to concede 20 shots a game and we used to just get battered. But I'll tell you why it was a Ten Hag performance. Look at that team. That was a Ten Hag fucking team. Barsesko and like one other player, bro, that was a Ten Hag team that was put out there. Like, okay, maybe unlucky he got injured last minute, right? And Harry Maguire, this shows when people say, oh, Harry Maguire, we've got the stat and the third, we need to sign. Let's say we didn't have Lenny Oro at the club, yeah, and Harry Maguire got like this extension. We'd all be going sick saying, oh, we shouldn't be signing youngsters like Euro, the stat and the third. But Euro didn't look good yesterday. If Harry Maguire played yesterday, we do not look that defensively shocking. Calvert-Lewin did not attack Lenny Oro yesterday. Did not attack Martinez yesterday. Fucking Calvert-Lewin 6'4", and Martinez we know his size. He didn't attack Martinez because he knew the weak one in defensively was Lenny Oro. He's attacked him very well, and he's struggled the whole game. He ran the show yesterday. We should have signed Calvert-Lewin on a free because, like I said, we need more strikers at the club. So for me, I just don't think that we can really blame all this on Carrick. If you think I'm going early on Carrick, you know, or we should give him the job, then I think you're going a bit early on. He's been absolutely dreadful and he's been found out. I think it works both ways. I don't think me or you are really seeing the middle ground then, to be honest. Like, if we're being real about it, because I'm seeing the other side and you're seeing it there. If we're both being early, and I think we are. It is too early to judge him either way, I think. So that's just what it is. But chat, look, if you want to say anything about him, if you want to say this is your moment, this is why you shouldn't get the job.
I don't buy that excuse.
That's fine.
Stratford Elite, I don't buy that excuse. How about the fact that we played 24 days ago? So why didn't their club set up 2 or 3 games in behind closed doors to get sharpness? Why did they let them go I agree. On holiday? Why did they all let them fuck up on holiday? Why? Answer that question for me. You're not answering the question. I thought so. People getting the votes. Are Carrick defenders making too many excuses for about last night? Get in the poll. Take it to the poll. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. People, let's get to 100 likes ASAP as well. But at the end of the day, I just see pragmatism, and that's all I see. He's got 0 plan B. People, mods, get on it. Get people to smash the likes. Big up to Saeed for the raid, and big up to Rance for the raid as well. Crazy, crazy. Euro was the best player. He recovered the ball well, Matt. He's an awful non-existent. Well, it is what it is. Big up to him. So, I agree. We should have set up friendlies. That's the bod's fault, not Carrick. I agree with you.
It's not Carrick's fault. Yeah. Something to do with Carrick. He doesn't organise games.
Everything is Carrick, innit?
No.
You're the coach of Manchester United, first team coach. You dictate. You asked the club, I need a couple of friendlies to keep the match sharpness. No, they didn't. They didn't. Different people. The only friendlies that we were set up was tennis tournament. And that's not Carrick's. Oh, God. That's not behave yourself, guys. Behave yourself. He's the first team coach. Responsibility lies with him. He says, the Everton game, we had 11 days, so we lacked sharpness. I'm not making that same mistake again. He needs to go and communicate that to the effing club. Set up 2 games so that we can get some match practice going on. And you don't even say, you know what, just run hard as us. Don't foul us, but run hard as us. That's all that would have been. But it is what it is. Big up, man. Big up to Rapala last night. I didn't catch the full game. I was working. So I've seen the first 10 minutes. We look garbage and shocking. Yo, Mohammed, big up to you, man. Of course we did.
Big up.
Of course we did. Of course he's a coward. That's what I'm trying to say to them. Tell me Manchester United DNA. Manchester United fucking DNA is risk-taking football. Leaving it everything on the pitch. That's what it is. He is too cowardly, too cautious, and he's got one of the most cautious, cowardly coaches in world football, Steve Holland. Steve Holland, the guy who's got the personality of a fucking potato. That tells you everything. That tells you everything. Big up Jamie. Jamie, let's get on it. Let's get people liking the video. That's the worst exactly performance I've seen. Disgusting. Waited 24 hours to watch us play and get served. And this is what I'm saying to you. I predicted in the preview, Eski. I predicted I predicted 2-1 to Manchester United because I was like, our home record is really good and their away record is shy. After 3 minutes, I changed my mind because I saw what was coming. We didn't just get beat, we got bopped. And if it wasn't for Lamins at times,
and Martinez,
the fact that they couldn't finish and one incredible defensive work by Martinez, it could have been 5-0 in the first half. What are we doing here? It would have been 5-0.
You're right. But it's about adjudicate. Look, all I'm saying is, as a coach, when they play more recently than us. I swear they played in the FA Cup or something because they're in the fucking semi-finals now, aren't they? But my point is, man, look, I think anyone managing that team yesterday, the performance would have been that bad. You can't have a group of players that haven't played for this amount of time. And you're right, something should have been set up and we should have played some games just for intensity sake. Like you're saying, don't foul hard, run as hard, and make it a bit physical, with fucking body checks and that. But realistically, he's not even a permanent manager. He has no say over anything right now. He doesn't. I understand, yes, he's the first team coach. But what does an interim manager? What interim manager has big powers pulls at that club? Do you think De Zerbi probably has more than Carrick right now because he's trying to get him out of the fucking relegation battle? So he's got a little bit more say. They're going to listen and pander to what he wants. He's not the third highest paid manager in the world or something right now because guess what? They're desperate. They need him. We don't need Michael Carrick right now. It's nothing like, we need him to secure the start. And I feel, no, not really. Like I said, ultimately, our recruitment has been that decent this season that we've come out of it, looking good. And both managers, this game here, I'm willing to just write it off and say, look, if they play 10% as bad, Nuruddin, if they play half as bad, if they play anywhere near than what I saw in our next game, I'm fully with you in it. I'm fully on you. I don't predict that's going to happen. This is what I'm saying, innit? So I'll put my neck on the line and say, we're not going to play this bad again, especially at home. I don't think it's going to happen. It's rust. We need to sort this out. We need to play some and play against the B team, play against the kids, little 11v11. We've got a squad there, some are injured, fuck's sake. But, even the suspended players can just play. And depending on our next game, I agree with you. The Chelsea game is a bit of a worry now because we don't have Maguire, depending if that's going to get appealed in it, so we don't know how long he's out for. Might not have Maguire. Martinez is definitely not playing. And I don't agree that was a red card as well. But look how many people come out and said it was a red card. He's a smaller guy. He's come out to reach the back of his shirt and he's got a ponytail. He's accidentally grabbed his ponytail, realised it, and then stopped. And all of a sudden, it's just a red card. I don't agree with that one at all. I don't think we're being biased there. It's just no. So I think two decisions have just gone against us in our last couple of games. But it doesn't excuse the fact that we could have been 5-0 down in the first half. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to sit here and say I think this guy should still be considered for the role over loads of different guys out there because, like I said, there's no obvious guy. You couldn't prove to me anyone would do better than this guy right now. You couldn't. You can give opinions and reasons as to why, but you couldn't prove to me. If Ruben Amorim was still at Sport doing what he was doing, you'd say get him in. Sometimes the grass is always greener, innit? So you got to just look at what you have. I'm gonna chalk it up to just rust because professional level doing anything, you don't play for a month. And we didn't have games. But like I said, that's not his fault that those games weren't scheduled. So, man, I don't think it was that bad. Casemiro, again, he's playing amazing. I think him and Bruno were the only two players that you could say, actually give a fuck. Lamens as well, to be fair. Martinez when he was playing. So you can actually look at it and say, yeah, it was bad across the board. But some players there actually did actually try and win it. Casemiro was inches off, man. It was a goal line clearance from Calvert-Lewin again. And, could have took that point and would have looked a decent point in hindsight. So, for me, I think Chelsea are just that bad that, usually at home, it's a bit of a snooze fest, a bit of a draw, usually with Chelsea over the years. So I predict another draw, just because we got them suspended players at the back. So, yeah, I'd say a draw for Chelsea. But the other games after that, I'm not that worried. I think we'll sort itself out, see what Villa's doing. But even if we finish fourth, it's not that bad. If we end up sliding down to fifth, right, question marks. But I think we'll be okay.
I just, honestly, I have no faith. People here decision making. In the first half, some of those players, did you watch the game? Do you believe that 2 changes or 3 changes should have been made? 3 of them should have been hooked up. And I'm hearing it's because he doesn't want to fall out with players. Get the F out of here with that talk.
Who's supporting
Get them off. Get them off the pitch. 3 players in that. I could have subbed 10 players in that first half. 10 outfield players, all of them should have come off. If you had 10 players to put on, that's what I would have done because they were an absolute disgrace. So the fact that he didn't want to take off players we're hearing now today reports, because he didn't want to blame individual players. He's trying to win games for Manchester United, you absolute numpty. You need to win games for Manchester United about offending people. Get the F out of here. Show them the tape. Look, the reason why you came up is because of this and that and that. That's the reason why. Get out of my face. That's why you tell players. Why is this lovey-dovey shit? It's absolutely shocking. Listen, Steve Holland worked out under Tony Pulis at Stoke. He's a negative, no risk aversion type of coach. He worked with Jose, risk aversion type of coach, right? He's not a guy that's going to take risks. Why the F did they bring him here? We saw England under the stewardship of Southgate and Steve Holland. How many times are England crying out for changes? Change the tactics, tweak the systems here and there, and nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. So this PR about what an amazing coach Steve Holland is, give it a rest. That is Ineos and Glazer BS. Simple as people. It is Glazer, Ineos, spin, spin, spin. And you know what? I put a tweet out last night and I said, what are they going to spin tomorrow after this loss? And you know what? They didn't spin anything, to be fair. For once, they were like, ooh, the fans are all waiting to shout at us. We better not do anything. And the three choices I gave, new contract announced of Kobe, 10 players, their minions in the media, Romano and that flipping Ben Jacobs, all those Muppets linking us to players. And then what was the third one? Oh, an update about the new stadium. That's what I said. But you know what? They didn't bring any of that crap. They didn't, because everybody would have jumped on them if they would have done that. It's absolutely shocking. Shocking. Spin, spin. That's all we get given in this football club. Carrick is not the guy. Why do you think I have got a hatred of Carrick? I don't have a hatred of Carrick. I have zero hatred of Carrick. I don't hate Carrick. I just see in front of my eyes what I can see, and my eyes don't lie to me. He's in game management after West Ham. I came here and told everybody, and I said, this guy is absolutely risk averse. Manchester United is all about risk. We might as well get beat, but we might go for the win. Go for the win, and if we get beat, we get beat. If we draw, we draw. Go for the win. That's the Manchester United DNA. And the other day, the other PR they pulled, Mbeumo and Ahmad are parroting the same talking point. If he knows the place is part of the Man United DNA. Get the F out of here with that talk, man. Did Klopp know what the DNA of Liverpool was? Did Pep know what the DNA of Man City was? Did Fergie know what the DNA of Manchester United was? No, they don't. Did Hansi Flick know the DNA of Barcelona? He's about to win his second league title this season. Just got cheated out in the Champions League tonight. No, they didn't. They don't know. They go on there and they have players, they work with players, and they get the best out of them. And they're proactive. They don't just sit there talking like that. They actually make changes. They tweak things. They stop the flow of the game. One thing I will say, though, we've got too many nice footballers. Last night, Calvert-Lewin punches Euro in the head for their first goal. Euro, I'm going down, rolling and rolling. And when I get up, I'm running straight to that referee going, he punched me in the head, red card. Then you put it down on the referee, and VAR have to go and check then. VAR have to go and check. So we're too effing nice. We're too effing nice. And I'm sick of these excuses. Last night, SD can say whatever he wants. Some of you in the chat can say whatever you want. Zero excuses. It wasn't that type of game. It wasn't a tight game we lost by one goal towards the end. They got a fluky goal, a wonder strike from 40 yards on the angle. It wasn't that type of game. It could have been 5 in the first half when we had 11 against 11. So mix me up with a red card as well. And yes, this is the rules, people. Touch somebody's hair and you get a red card. That's how it is. That's how it is. But Michael Carrick is not courageous enough. If he was, I promise you, I'll be on here saying to you guys, Carrick is the guy. I don't care what we lost or what. He gets Manchester United. He's the Manchester United DNA because he's taking risks. He's learning to take risks. He understands that's the way Manchester United football should be. That's what Manchester United football should be. That's why I would come here and say that to you. I would love to be saying that to you guys. I would love to be saying Michael Carrick is a risk taker. I like what he's doing. He might be inexperienced. He might be learning on the job. But at least we've got a guy who understands the Manchester United DNA. Instead, we've got a guy who's frightened to make substitutions. And I came in and did the first show when he got appointed. I looked at what Middlesbrough fans were saying. He waits till the 70th minute. Who the F is Woodgate? Who the hell is Steve Holland? Who the hell are these people? They're not. What have they done to deserve a Manchester United job? Luani, how are you? Big up to you. I'm still absolutely fuming. And a lot of people in the fan base I see today, a lot of YouTube channels making excuses, a lot of links, a lot of things on X today. People are making excuses, brother, about what we saw last night. First of all, how are you? How's the family? Have you just finished work?
Yes, just arrived home. I'm good. Thank you. How are you guys doing?
You missed an amazing game, by the way. Barcelona, Atletico Madrid. Oh, my God. Put absolute shame to the Premier League. The dull, boring football of the Premier League. Barcelona got cheated again. I think Kundo was undercover. Last man brought the striker down. Kunde was undercover. It should have been yellow. Both legs, they lost because of 2 red cards because of the last defender.
Yeah, I was actually watching the PSG game.
Oh, why do you bother with that? That was a
yeah.
game, man. The game was Barcelona. Absolutely brilliant game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe I should have been watching the Barcelona game. But when you're a team like Barcelona, regardless of how much talent you have, when you play with such a high line, you just leave yourself open to this kind of situation. So I will say that it's not by luck that they got knocked out. They got knocked out by Atletico in 2 competition. They just have, I don't know, maybe what's his name? Hansi Flick needs to just find the balance with that Highland thing because it seems to be costing them too much.
Barcelona's still in a lot of debt. This Barcelona team needs just 4 really good defenders. That's what they need. 4 back.
Right? Even if you got good defenders, you're just asking them for too much. We've seen that in the Premier League with Postecoglou.
The most important thing they need is 2 centre backs that can turn on and who can marshal, who got leadership, who can marshal the defense to get the offside trap working, and 1 or at least 2 people at the back that can absolutely got burners, are fast to recover from that. Because all you need to do in modern football is delay. You don't need to dive in. You just need to delay so that the players get back. But anyway, talk to me about last night. People are making excuses. You've had a day to think about it. How did you think about the game? And are you buying the excuses? Are you buying them? Are you buying the excuses?
No, what excuse are people making? There's no excuse to be made. If you are this one,
that it was the red card, it was this, excuses that he's got nothing off the bench, all this is BS to me, mate.
No, it's just a coping mechanism at this point because they were beating us 2-0, fair and square, 11 versus 11. So I don't know what that red card was all about. If you ask me, I'll say that if we both kept 11 men on the pitch, they have control of that game. Maybe they could have beat us by more. And then it's if Boston maybe, but honestly, there's no excuse to be made. They deserve that victory. And I'll be honest with you, it could have been more. The only reason it looked like it was even a close game is just Leeds they felt complacent. in the second half because they could have just passed the ball around and then put us to the sword, having their numerical advantage. But they were fluffing their lines and they were panicking at times, which was completely unwarranted. But come on, that game was not even close at any point in time. So but the thing about the fans making the excuse, I think it's a coping mechanism at the end of the day because some people on this channel, you included, me, Jarvis, at the point we've seen this coming. Right after the City game, I think we played Fulham, and even though we won 3-2, or I think Jarvis pointed out that they were playing through our press, and then a few games after, we're not even pressing anymore. I think Carrick was kind of reactionary to that. He decided to have us sit back, but the result was still the same. We we couldn't muster the same composure sitting behind the ball that we had against Arsenal and City anymore, which proves that it was not something that was like work in training. It was just something that worked for those two games, and it couldn't work because maybe those two teams, Arsenal and City, were a little bit more aggressive and were getting ahead of themselves. But I noticed that every time we come against a team that is not too aggressive, that is composed enough to pick us apart, we always struggle. A team that's composed enough to recycle the ball and they pick their moment, we always struggle. So it's something that have been coming for a while. It just happened that now it's glaring for everybody to see, and then everybody's now reactionary. But it's been coming. I'm not saying that is an indictment on Carrick's coaching or managerial attributes. It's just something that every manager go through some patches. I just want to see him make his adjustment. And that's because that's what managers are defined by. They don't make excuses, they make adjustment. And if he can make some adjustment, hopefully we can see some progress by the end of the season that will warrant maybe considering him for the position. But if we keep going on this tangent, it's a hell no for me. Oh, you muted.
Luani, you were a big fan of Carrick. You were actually praising him. You were thinking maybe he's the guy.
Yes, I was a big fan of him because it's not like we all get fooled that under Amorim the players were shackled. It was a fact that Amorim was a bit too not conservative, but he was a bit too pragmatic in his approach. He was a bit too predictable and too linear, and the players have to stick by his system or less. So most of our players that are expressive were finding themselves a little bit kind of handcuffed or tamed. So plus Amorim was the vibe with him was not that good. It get to a point where he was throwing his players under the bus. He was throwing everybody but himself under the bus. So that had to end. I thought that with a minimum, with a coach coming in, just lifting up the mood a bit, which Carrick can do because he's respected and he's part of the house, that will at least get us playing to our level, which I know can sustain us to clinching a place in the for the Champions League. But I did not foresee like this kind of reset, how this kind of recession, this kind of uh, regression performance, and that's why I'm not jumping off the bandwagon. I supported him, but I'm just a bit disappointed for his lack of in-game management, for his inability to see some things that are glaring. Sometimes even identify the basic fact of some of his players' attributes. Is almost, we criticize Amorim for misprofiling some of these players and playing them out of position. Now it look like Carrick is doing the same thing. He's misprofiling some of these players. He's overplaying some of them, and he's not playing some enough. Like I don't know why Xerxes didn't do not to deserve a game. And Eden Heaven has been on the bench for a while. He doesn't even get that much game time. We can go up and down the lineup, and when the manager fails to start getting result, you have to start like looking at the whole thing, put the whole thing under a microscope, and this criticism is warranted. So, yeah.
Yeah. Eski,
Yo.
you there?
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
Where do we? How are you feeling about Chelsea? After watching that, do you have any faith? How much faith do you still have in this?
Look, man, look, at the end of the day, man, it was one.
How much faith do you have? It's not one game. Stop telling me
It is. Look. This.
Last night.
Look. This channel.
We got away with it against Everton.
Look.
Everton were by far the better team. We got away with it with one counter-attack goal.
Look. There's always something to nitpick, and I get it. You can look at anything and say, "Oh, this isn't sustainable." We could win 10 games in a row, and you could say it's not sustainable. Do you know what I mean? I don't understand. So at the end of the day, like I said, it comes down to rustiness. You're a coach. You understand how it works. If you're used to doing something day in, day out in training, playing high intensity,
why did not Carrick foresee
whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
Now you think Carrick can't say.
No. What interim manager in the world can start saying, "I want to organize the start and the fit"? He doesn't have any power. He doesn't have anything to say that. He's not even a full-time manager. Do you think he can say, right, Ineos, hello, I want to organize? Right, so me and you see things differently. If what you're saying is a fact, then fair enough, but you can't prove that. So at the end of the day, your opinion's valid. I respect your opinion, but it's not a fact. So at the end of the day, he's done what he's done. He's trained, done what he can with the team, and they've come out and done that. At any highest level of any sport, if you don't do something, if you don't train or do anything like that you're used to for a month, and you have to come back and do it, it's not easy, man. Everyone looked off. Why do you think that? Like I said to you before, 9 out of 11 of that team were Ten Hag's team. And we looked like a Ten Hag performance where we could have been 5 down because they had like almost 20 shots. It felt like the attack after attack. Every time they went forward, it looked like they could score. That's a fucking Ten Hag trait. Because look at the midfield. Ugarte and Casemiro is terrible, but what can you do? What better midfield would you have put out there? Would you have just started Mount and just said, right, Mount, Casemiro? It would have looked the fucking same. Without Kobe Mainoo, this team has been terrible. It just looked like this under Ruben Amorim. Do you know why? Kobe wasn't playing in midfield. He had Bruno there. I don't understand what was going on there. If Kobe got injured today, he should have just tried, like I said, could have maybe tried something else. At the end of the day, he's not. But like I'm saying, it's just one game. If they play anything like this in the next game, then I understand. Then I'm saying, right, that's not rust. I'm not going to say that. For this one game, I'm going to say it. That's what I'm saying. Ultimately, he's come in and we've earned the most points in the league since he's been appointed. That is just a fact. So at the end of the day, he's come in and done a better job than anyone. If before he come in, you couldn't have said Enrique could have got as much points as Carrick has right now. You couldn't. Any manager that you want in provably might not be as good as this guy. This is what I'm saying. And I'm not saying give him the job based on what I've seen. I'm saying it's too early. It's too early to judge him either way, to say he shouldn't get it or should get it. But if you want to go early and say he shouldn't get it X, Y, Z, then go for it, and we'll be in the cycle again. And I'll be talking to you next time about the next new manager that comes in. And the fast continues, man. It's another season of bullshit. That's fine. But for me, I want to actually stick with the manager for once, because the maximum amount of time a Man United manager's been in charge is 2.5 seasons. 2.5 seasons since Fergie left. But we all come here and say we're going to back the next guy that comes in. Let's say Enrique comes in tomorrow. Are we going to sit here for 2 years? He doesn't win the Premier League and fans aren't going to expect he wins it in the third. Are we going to be patient with him? Our fan base, this channel, no one's been patient enough here. Anyone in the chat, the regulars, no one's been patient enough here to sit with the manager longer than 2 years without saying I want him out. And that's just the facts of it. I've been on this channel for so long. No one has the patience to do that. I didn't want Ten Hag sacked. I didn't want Ollie sacked. Where you come in and say it's not sustainable, just that and the third. So I think you are part of the reason why we can't have managers for that long and a sustained period. I think people get too emotional too quickly and the board reacts.
I just call it what I see, and I'm always right. I'm always
well, hold on. Some people are colorblind. Some people can see in one eye. I wear glasses. We all see it differently. So it doesn't matter what you see. Oh yeah, brilliant. But what I'm saying is, everyone sees things differently. So what you say things, So we'll see it so differently, and it's fine. But what I'm saying is, I just believe that why can't we just stick with it for once? Stop being emotional. This game, we've seen the emotion from fans. Everyone kicks off, blah blah blah. But it's the first loss we've had in so long. If we were losing every week, I'd understand. But we're not under Ruben Amorim anymore. But there's still a dark cloud over us as fans to suggest that, oh, any moment this whole thing can implode and we don't trust the team and it's all just a bit standoffish. I don't understand why can't we just accept what's going on right now, regroup for next season. Why can't we do that? Why does it feel so negative after a loss? Go on, Luani, you're going to say something.
Yes, I just wanted to say, Keske, you are right in saying that.
Oh, shameless, absolutely shameless, Saeed, shameless.
Carrick in. Saeed, look, tell him, man, look, Saeed, I'm spitting facts. This is for you, bro. This is for all the Carrick inners. I'll see you in the car park and we'll discuss it. Sorry, Luani, go on.
Yes, everything you're saying is true in terms of we all come here and we don't state fact. We just say our opinion. Sometimes that opinion is biased. It's based on our own perception. But sometimes when somebody sit down and tell you, okay, I see something, you just have to see if there is a pattern that's repeating itself, and if that pattern is dragging long enough that you can almost make it into a law, you know that there's something that's wrong there. Right after the Fulham game, when it was said that we were shaky in terms of tactical approach, it's something that keeps translating into the game after and the game after. But what you want to see is when we're working something out in training, it has to show. If I ask you right now, how does Carrick play his football? You can't necessarily tell me. When I remember all the game we played since he's arrived, it's almost like I remember flash of moments. I remember hitting teams on the counter, which is not a system unless you are super pragmatic like Mourinho or like the coach of Atletico. But how does Carrick play? How does he progress the ball? What we remember is just individual brilliance, Cunha cutting it, shooting.
Ben, I've sent you the link, Ben. Where are you? I've sent you the link. Sorry.
Sesko, last minute winner. Maybe what's his name? It's all individual brilliance related. So it's something that is worrisome in a term of, we all want Carrick to succeed, but we cannot deny certain facts. I like him. He came in, he brought the mood up, but now he has to coach. Football just exposed this kind of thing. You cannot go on long enough without implementing a certain system that you can take from game to game. Coaches in this league are very astute. They earn their money. They will expose you. They will make adjustment. And it's up to you to make adjustment to their adjustment. The most basic thing sometimes for a coach is to recognize that you have to rotate your team and then you have to play your players in their best position. That always gives the team a new lease of life. When your team is getting tired, you understand that, hey, you know what, you need to freshen things up a little bit. Game to game, keep the 22-man squad believing in the plan that you're trying to sell. What is the plan that Carrick is selling us in terms of how to progress the ball, rather than just relying on individual players? Vibe is now going to, you have a whole Premier League season. We did not give him a whole season, I agree. But if we are planning to keep him on a permanent basis, he's going to have a preseason and a whole season. Everything can go wrong in a season, or you can have phases of the season where you win 5 games in a row and you are in an upward trajectory. Everybody is happy. And then you lose 2 games and suddenly you find yourself coming back down. We want to have a manager that have the ability to right up the trend, to put the train back on the track when it is derailing. We just don't want a manager that's here for the good vibes. So he have to show us a bit more.
Joy is Luani, I respect that. You make good points there. He needs to show us more, but ultimately, safe Ben. What I'm saying is, when we had Amorim last season, he come in around October, November time, right? And we said this isn't enough time to judge this guy, right? So we give him months and months and months. Okay, this Michael Carrick is coming in January, and we're judging him. I don't understand that as fans. So when we had one guy come in who was the permanent manager, because at the time Amorim was appointed to be permanent manager, we said this isn't enough time to judge him. We have an interim manager come in that no one knows is going to get the full-time job, right? That's not been confirmed anywhere, and we're judging this guy so early. That's just baffling for me. Is everyone just upset that we're just out of cup competitions this season and we're just there like, shit, man, this is stupid. We're gonna frustration's gonna go out and it always ends up in the manager every season, right? That's what's not making sense for me. How can we judge an interim manager so quickly who's having better results than the previous permanent manager, and we didn't judge that permanent manager that quickly in the first season? That just doesn't make sense to me. There was not that many people calling for Amorim's head after we lost that final, but there's more people that don't want Carrick to have the job now after a Leeds loss at home. I just don't understand. That doesn't equate for me in my head.
I never wanted Amorim. I was like, Amorim used to F up that.
No, but majority. No, I'm not saying you. It's all about. That's fine. No, I'm not saying you. I didn't say you. I said the majority vocal from fans. The sentiment wasn't to sack Ruben Amorim. What would you say? I'd say the majority of fans didn't want him to be sacked after that Europa League final. I would say that. That was the sentiment I got from people. I'm not saying you individually, but right now, I think the most sentiment from people is to not give Carrick the job after this Leeds game. I don't understand that. That's just all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll try to answer that. I think the reason why we're judging him so fast because his name is in the hat for the permanent job. So this tenure of his is almost considered an audition, and then we have the right to look at it as something that we can take as a sample size to either grant him the job or not. If his name was not on the hat and he's just thought about as an interim, I don't think we'll be judging him so harshly at the beginning. He doesn't have any experience at coaching at this level. So it's fair to say that, you know what, if any manager that have experience at coaching at this level is available, if Carrick didn't prove us anything else than what is going on right now, it's not fair for us to keep him in the job then.
I mean, like I said earlier, he's got the most points since he's come in and been appointed as manager in the Premier League. So he's done a great job. And I hear what you're saying. Yeah, he's in the running for the job. That's why we're judging him so harshly. But Luis Enrique's in the running for the job. But we're going to judge him based on what he has at PSG in France. Whereas Michael Carrick is in England managing the team right now and has done really, really well. The performances is what we're discussing. It's not really argument. We're discussing different opinions on the style of play. It's sustainable and stuff. But this is a better sample size than Enrique's because this guy's actually here. This guy's in the hot seat doing it right now. If you look at Enrique, it looks nice from afar. But like I said, he's managing a team that are 95%, a world-class team, if not 100% world-class. Man United aren't anywhere near that. Like I said, at best, we're 50%, and that's full strength. So how can he come here? Managers managing in Portugal, in Holland, in wherever we got Van Gaal from, the international team. We've got managers from all these places in the Premier League with Mourinho. They've come here, and none of that is translated. None of it's translated, so there is no evidence or sample size to look at and suggest that, well, this works better. The best sample size, funnily enough, is Ollie, because we competed sometimes. We were in cup finals, and he's the guy with no experience. So if you looked at it like that, is that phone call? So if you look at it like that, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, big up, Ben.
Go ahead, Ben. Ben, talk to me. How are you, first of all? Talk to you, man.
Yeah, big up, man. Bit tired tonight.
Has Rory McIlroy come back to Ireland? Has he bought the trophy?
He's still in Florida with his family. Obviously, he has a gaff over in Florida, and he has a gaff still in Ireland still. But he's still in Florida at the moment. Yeah, big up, man. A bit tired tonight. Just finished training in a cold weather, man. It was freezing tonight, man. Whenever you just get out the first step, you get out to the pitch and you feel the cold air. Like as a footballer, it's the worst feeling ever, man. When obviously when the summer days hit, like it's class, man, playing in the pitch, man. But yeah, big up, man. Glad to be here. Big up to yourself. Big up to Lawani. Big up to Eski. And big up to the chat, man. Free everyone that's oppressed around the world, and free Palestine, Iran, free solidarity and love to the people of Lebanon as well. Yeah, our prayers and thoughts are with the families who have been bombed by that non-existent country that shall not be said ever again from my mouth. Sorry. And yeah, big up, man. Yeah, I'm good, man.
One question to ask tonight. One question. Donda, are you on X? Tag me in the link, and I'll send you the link. Go ahead, Ben. Tonight, the excuses from since yesterday's result for Michael Carrick, 1 minute the penalty. Who's he got off the bench? His in-game management is so inept. He's so cowardly with his changes. He is supported by Steve Holland, who worked at Stoke back in the day, right? And worked with Jose. Talk about pragmatism. The ultimate pragmatist, people. And people tell me Woodgate deserves to be a coach at Manchester United. It's all BS. But some people think Carrick is the guy at the wheel. Carrick at the wheel. Where do you stand with the excuses first to begin with? And what do you think of Steve Holland? Do you remember England? England are dying out to make changes in games tactically or player-wise.
Too slow.
Nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I spoke to a few like United fans today. Obviously, a lot of my mates from football and all around and work and stuff. They're all Man United fans, and some of them are with me. Some of them are literally in Mars, like not planet Mars. Like they're literally, I don't know what goes through their brain. Some of them said that it's the referee's fault. That's the reason why we lost the game. Like if Martinez doesn't get sent off there, we win the game. And then some people then say, oh, it's not Carrick. It's not Carrick. Carrick didn't do anything bad. Like, the players weren't just up for it. And, like, it's all down to players. But then whenever it comes to Amram, when it comes to Ten Hag, we couldn't criticize the players. It was all down to Ten Hag, Amram this, Amram that. Like, have the same energy, people. Like, the tactics were absolutely abysmal. In-game management, shocking. There's no difference between Amram and Michael Carrick and in-game management. There's just nothing. Man just literally bites his fingernails the entire game. It's just embarrassing, and like the fact people are saying, I've watched a few YouTubers today, a few content creators, and they just hear their different views, and like each and every single one of them just say, look, anyone who criticizes Carrick and says Carrick's not the guy after one game is a disgrace. You lot are just shocking fans, and I'm like, I mean, it's the beauty of football, like, but at the same time, man, like, when people back Ten Hag in his first season, after a lot of the Ten Hag outers were saying that it was a lucky first season because all the rest of the teams were all shit. But see, when it comes to Michael Carrick, when I say Michael Carrick's lucky that he's third right now, I get absolutely fucking rinsed by the Michael Carrick workers because they say he's not lucky. Who gives a shit if Liverpool are doing bad? No. But back in Ten Hag, when I mentioned that Ten Hag didn't get lucky, Ten Hag's actually played quite well in terms of like his compact football and stuff. People just came to me and just rinsed me, and like, bro, we need to have the same energy. Like the energy's just all over the fucking show, and you know what, man? It doesn't surprise me, man, because this is just what this fan base is, a fucking disgrace. We keep talking about Carrick. We keep talking about this, that. Like, I will repeat it every fucking day, man, until I'm in my grave. And we're keeping a racist man at this club, man. And people are gonna say, you're keeping a racist man is one thing, and then talking about Ineos is another thing. No. Ineos is Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He owns the whole fucking organization. He owns the whole thing, right? So, regardless if you like this whole recruitment bollocks about saying, oh, Cunha's a good signing, and Boomer's a good signing, Sesko's a good signing, Lamont's a good signing. Bro, they're not good signings, they're not bad signings. They're basic fucking signings. They're basically, okay, that's like the bare minimum that I expect from a modern day football club. Bayern Munich would do it. PSG would do it. Man City would do it. Liverpool would do it. It's just basic recruitment. It's not good. It's not bad. It's just basic. So people need to stop twerking for this fucking recruitment bollocks, man. Because right now, some of these players under Ineos, under the Ineos regime, they took us to 15th, along with that bloody scrub Amram, right? But I'm sorry, man. Like, you can't just differentiate a racist man at this football club who literally publicly was racist. He literally was racist. The comments are there and on all over social media. And you're talking about Wilcox. People are getting twerky about this Weetabix Wilcox because he went to fucking Manchester City. He done this, done that. Omar Barada Potato. He's done fucking fuck all. He's done fuck all. Like, honestly, do you know what's crazy though, Nerdin?
Jonathan Woodgate at our club.
Facts. Do you know what's crazy though, Nerdin? Every signing that Ineos have fucking made at this club, 90% of them all support Man United. So if you're going to a footballer, right? If you're going to a footballer and you say, what team do you support? Man United. They're going to be like thinking, okay, he's going to be an easy target because he supports the fucking club. I guarantee you right now, if Cunha and Bumo, Sesko, if all these fucking players that support Man United, if they didn't support Man United, sorry, they wouldn't be Man United players. I fucking guarantee you right now. I'll bet that right now. They wouldn't be good Man United players. So I'm sorry. This is why I say Wilcox's job, Barada's job, Vivell's job, they're doing the bare minimum. They're not doing good. They're not doing bad. They're doing the fucking bare minimum. Now, they should have done way better last season because near to me and you said it in the fucking panel, said it to the chat that we needed 8 or 9 signings, and people were saying, "Oh no, we only need 5 signings. What are you talking about? We've got a good squad. We've got a good squad. We just need to get rid of Amram. He's a scrub." And look where we're at now. Look where we're at. Yes, Amram started off pretty shocking, but then the players literally just dropped off completely, man. It just doesn't feel right that Cunha and Mbeumo having a really good season last season. He comes to Man United. Yeah, they had a good spark at the start, man, but they've dropped off significantly. And why? Why does that happen? No, it's not because of Mbeumo. It's not because of Cunha. I think they're decent players. I think they're solid, good players. It's because of the environment. And where does the environment lie? Up at the very, very top. This is why outside of football, this is why employees don't want to work at any of these big name companies, whether it's a supermarket, whether it's a shop or a clothing brand or whatever it is. This is why people don't want to fucking work at them, because the people running the fucking business are a shambles. They get rid of their fucking staff. They treat you like fucking slaves. Like I know myself. Obviously, I've worked at a few big companies, and I've literally regretted every single one of them. Why? Because I've been treated like fucking shit. The owners, the managers, shocking. Just treat you absolute bear shite. With the players, they're waking up every day. Yes, they're a Man United player, and it's a privilege to be a Man United player. But bro, you've got literally like most of our players are not from England. They're all from abroad, and the fact that heard their own boss, be racist to them, because he's racist to the whole entire fan base, not just to the players. But it was out there. The comments are out there. I don't know what we're doing here, people. I come on every day, and I feel like I'm wasting my fucking energy. And some days I just say to myself, what's even the fucking point anymore? We talk about tactics. We talk about system. We talk about this. We will not get anywhere near a Premier League title, a Champions League title. The fact people say we could challenge next season, chat absolute bear shit, man. Honestly, all yous lot in the fucking comments and all yous around the world, whoever's watching this, bro, chat bear shit, man. The biggest objective that we have to do right now is get rid of them fucking vultures, man. The people behind Nerdin's head. But like I said, it's not going to happen because, like I said, I mean, people are going to say, Ben, stop chatting shit. You're wasting your energy and time. And realistically, probably I am. But you know what, man? I'm not gonna stop, man. I fucking hate these bastards with passion, man. I've wasted a quarter of my fucking life supporting this club that I love so much, man. And it's been literally drained by these fucking filthy American greedy bastards of a fucking family, these Glazers. Plus on top of that, a racist bastard who lives in Monaco. And loves his wee, claiming his wee tax and shit, whereas we're getting fucking screwed over by the cost of living. Go fuck yourself, Sir Jim Ratcliffe.
Ben, I agree with you calling out Sir Jim Ratcliffe about the racism thing. I just don't agree that it affects the players in the way you say it does, because I believe these players check their emotion at the door before they walk into the bank to check their bank account. The check that Jim Ratcliffe writes them, the check that Jim Ratcliffe writes them is fat enough to caress their feelings. When talking about the team, I believe the issue we have here is when a team is underperforming, or when a coach is not good enough, the first people to know are the players that play for him. Regardless if we win, if we lose, or if we draw, if you, after a game and you have a whole week of training, if you get outplayed, it's hard as a coach and you and your coaching staff, it's a hard sell to convince these players that the plan is working. So yes, Carrick have a hard sell, and you can tell because we as fans we usually focus first on the players down tooling, and we always bring that up in terms of talking about how they were outforced and they were out muscle, and the opponent was the first to be on the ball in this. But the truth is that the down tooling part is just is a consequence of the fact that they stop believing into the plan that the coach is telling them. I would say one game is a bit too early to say that, but since we've seen those things coming, I would say that he's a bit worried. But trust me, in the next few games, we will know we will know exactly if these players are having doubts in the plan that Carrick is trying to sell them. We're playing Chelsea next, and Chelsea and Bournemouth is two games that we have cycle in the calendar because of the fact that they like passing the ball, and we don't have a lot of the ball. If they end up passing out off the field and they beat us convincingly again, this might be the start of a downward spiral for Carrick.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, big up. Listen, Dunda, welcome to the channel.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, yeah, man. But I just want to say, thank you to you, Nuruddin, because you've created a space where like real people can come across and share their honest opinions. You know, it's not a bot room in here, and I really respect each and every one of you's opinion, although I don't agree with them. But yeah. First of all, I have to say, like for me, there's a specific way I view managers. You have to have a certain amount of there's a certain amount of damage that's done to a manager where they cannot come back from, for me, right? Certain amount of losses you endure, and your perception in the eyes of the fans is changed, you know. And I think we saw Amorim go through that. I think we saw Ten Hag go through that. You lose a certain amount of games in a specific certain amount in a specific way that you're losing these games, and we're looking at you sideways. We're like this, and you know it's not gonna work. And I have to say, I don't think Carrick is there yet. I don't think Carrick is there yet at all. I don't think he deserves the criticism yet. You know, we can maybe see a bit of the cracks, but I have to say that's probably a bit of PTSD on our side. You know, perhaps we can see cracks forming, but I don't think he's done enough to deserve the level of stick he's getting. To be honest, he's perhaps not the best manager out there. I'd say MUFC Seoul was saying Simeone Inzaghi, that was managing Inter. I think, you know, for us, that would probably be a good manager. I'm not saying Carrick is the best in the world, but like I was saying in the chat, honestly speaking, who's coming across here and giving us better options than Carrick? Because Carrick's won 7 out of 11 games. That deserves a certain amount of respect, you know. So I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about it. Feel free to disagree.
Mm-hmm. Who would you like to see as Manchester United coach next season?
So far, Carrick. So far, Carrick.
Yes. He speaks sense. He speaks
Go
sense,
ahead.
man.
Break it down for me. What has Carrick done? What has he shown to get the Manchester United job?
He's won.
Can you tell me? Can you tell me his system and his tactics?
He's focused on the midfield. He's focused on the midfield. No, it's not just winning games, but he's focused on the midfield. I can see it. His system is extremely focused on that midfield, and because of that, I know that if he's made permanent manager, we are going to spend money in the midfield. I know that. You can even see the links for us to get midfielders. And if you've watched United since not even 2013 when we last won the title, but even before that, our issue has always been the midfield. And we know games are won and lost in the midfield, especially in the Premier League, which is so physical and transitional. And if we can improve our midfield, if we can have, I'm not saying he's going to be Sir Alex. In 2 years from now, he may be gone. But I know he's going to focus on the midfield. And if he can focus on the midfield and get us those players we need, the next manager, if Carrick does end up getting sacked, will be in a much better position because we've been Donut FC for years. And we've complained about it for years.
I have
You
a
know
couple of
that-
questions for you, based on what you just said. The first question is that do you trust Carrick to turn it around if he hit the rough patch? And the second question,
as long as he has the players, he will.
okay. The second question is, you say he's focused on the midfield, which means that he's focused.
What evidence is that? What evidence? Even at Middlesbrough, he wasn't focused. He was there when he was part of the coaching staff that gave us Fred and McTominay. I remember how that ended up. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. My second question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, my second question is that you say he's focused on the midfield, which suggests that he will improve it based on the acquisitions that we make. Now, we are not Real Madrid, so
can I just say that he's not making the signings? It's the club that's making the signings. Do you know that first-team coaches are only first-team coaches? Like Windy says here, Carrick is perfect for Ineos. He's not going to cost a lot. He will take the head coaching title and not the manager title. And he's not going to make demands for players. Perfect for Ineos. This is, I don't know how people can't see this. Go ahead.
I understand where you're coming from, but Ineos has been making good signings. We've made good signings under Ineos.
Yes, basic signings, mate. Not good. That's the difference.
Yeah. That's actually debatable because
what signings do you really want? What did you expect them to do more than they've done as far as signings goes? Who did you want them to bring in? Mbappe?
No midfielders. Midfielders that we've been crying out for the last 10 years.
But that's what they're doing this summer.
No. That's that. See, this is where we disagree, because if you're a big football club like Man United, you've seen all your other rivals compete at that, like, you know, go for 8 or 9 players, like sign 8 or 9 players, 7 or 8 players, like you match them. You don't let them go ahead of you, and because that means you're behind the project. You're already falling behind. Yes, we finished 15th last season. We can't forget about that.
Who are these clubs, rivals, that are signing 7 or 8, 9 players? Liverpool? How did that work out?
Tell him. Facts.
Oh my God, man.
Facts. No, it's true. Listen to what you said, though. Your premise, Ben, was a club the size of Man United, but you can't name me teams that go out there and sign 4 first-team midfielders in any summer. It just doesn't happen. What you want to happen is all well and good. We all agree, but we're just trying to be realistic with what we're saying. Exactly. What we're saying is realistic. We're not going to sign 4 midfielders at all. Last season we had no money as well, so I know what you're saying. We should have signed a midfielder last summer.
The way you're saying, like, we have to be realistic. That's almost like shielding. That's almost shielding.
Yeah, that's your opinion. That's your opinion, but
if Sir Jim was watching this show right now,
I couldn't care less if he watched it.
He would be loving what you're saying. He'd be loving it. He'd be loving it because obviously it's just, do you know what it is, man? Like, honestly, it's like every show, it's always about like Carrick, you know, players. This, like, I mean, Luani pointed it out last night, but we shouldn't be talking about the individual of the players and stuff. Like, we should always be talking about the system. Like, we shouldn't be going in on the players realistically that much on, like, obviously we've been playing different systems, bro. Like, our whole energy and our whole like focus should be on what's behind Nerdin's head. Like, every
100%.
fucking show, it should be always talked about, man. It should be always talked about.
But the reason I was saying yesterday, right? The reason I was saying yesterday that we need to focus on the players, because I know that we are dealing with a board that is now going to sign superstar like Real Madrid. So the coach have to come out and coach. We have to at least find a coach that can balance the medium to good signing with a little bit of his coaching attributes, so we can get where we need to get. If you say, yeah, we're not going to sign Mbappe, but we did good signing, some people will beg to differ. Did the players that we signed make a difference in our season in terms of doing? Are you sure about that? Because during Amorim's tenure, we were going downward.
No,
Amorim was a
Luani,
scumbag. I
So
can't even.
now my question to you that is it the players that made the difference, or is it
Yeah.
because Carrick, the coach was switched? You can sound good players, or you can sound play. You see what I mean?
No. Luani, watch an answer, bro.
You can
No.
sign good players, but if you pair them with a coach that is pragmatic enough to shackle them, you will not get the best out of them. So that's why I'm saying is that you need a combination of both with this kind of board. You can't just sign. We don't sign excellent players. We don't sign the best of the best.
Yeah.
So Carrick still have
No.
the coach.
No. Luani, look, factually, if you listen to my last couple of shows I did with Nuruddin, regardless of whoever was the manager this season, our attacking signings are the reason we're this high up in the table. Under Amorim, was our attacking metrics some of the best in the league? Well, was our chances created per game, even with Bruno as a fucking DM in a two-man midfield where he shouldn't be, one of the best in the league? For long periods of time in this league, we've been one of the best attacking sides. We just have been. That is a fact. Michael Carrick didn't make these signings. Ruben Amorim, regardless whether he made the signings or not, it was Ineos. They're the ones that are present regardless here. Next season, they'll be here. They made the signings, right? Yeah, right. Racism, this, that, and the third, whatever. That, it's not good, right? But on a footballing level, these guys have made these attacking signings, and they're the reason we're this high up in the league. It doesn't matter who was fucking our manager right now. It honestly didn't matter. So you would have to say that this season it's been all right. Dolgu, good signing. Bremo's hit the ground running, arguably one of the signings of the season. Cunha's come good second half of the season. Sesko is one of the best fucking strikers to come off the bench and score in the league. And he's got loads of goals, open play goals. He's not scored any set pieces. So you can look at it and say it's all basic signings. These basic signings were wanted by Tottenham. They were wanted by Arsenal. They were wanted by other clubs. But Benjamin Sesko was going to go to Arsenal, was you not? That's a club that's competing for the league and probably going to bottle it. So if you look at it from that perspective, these players aren't basic. You can spin it and look at that. If you don't want to give them credit, you can say they are basic signings. That's fine. You can do that. But at the end of the day, factually, any other players, any other team, fans will be looking at our players saying, yeah, we could have done with that player. And Tottenham would have signed all of those players in a heartbeat. Arsenal would take some of these players now over Eze, over Madueke. Would they not take Cunha and Mbemo? Of course they would have.
Absolutely.
City could have done with him. City signed Semenyo.
Let's go over.
That's just a fact, though. That's just a fact. I'm saying that is a fact.
I'm not disputing.
Luani, can I just get one little point across? One little point across. I don't want you guys to get me and NBA Sully wrong. I'm sorry, I don't know.
We've only got 15 minutes left, bro.
So sorry. I don't want you guys to get us wrong. All we're saying is not that we're not Glazers out. Any sensible United fan is Glazers out. We're just not trying to stop the progression of the club as far as on the pitch and winning, because we still want to see that. We're not going to come against that in order to become Glazers out. We are Glazers out. We want them out.
No, not just Glazers. Ineos are making things worse.
Fine, we get them all out, but I still want to see my club winning. I don't want to come against that.
So you just said fine that we need to start winning. But you're just basically like gaslighting all of us, are. You're just basically more focused on winning than getting these Glazers and Ineos out. Focus on that first. That's the main objective first. Yeah, but obviously winning. Put the winning aside.
Yeah.
But
what do you mean put the winning aside?
No, bro, I don't care. Bro, at this moment in time, right? I've wasted what? I'm 26 now, right? 20 years. I've 20 years. United. 20 years of my life. I've literally had to.
The Glazers have owned the club our whole lives. I'm your age. The Glazers have owned the club our whole lives.
100%.
And that didn't stop us from winning, did it?
Well,
at least for the first 5-6 years of it.
Ever since when did Fergie leave? 2012.
2013.
We've been
13.
horrendous. We've been horrendous.
Well,
that's 13 years.
So would you return to the Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues in order to?
I would rather.
Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that the 7 to 8 players that Manchester United need, we're gonna get this summer? And by the way, Bruno Wash, this guy. How are you presuming Manchester United can still finish 7th or 8th? If we get beat by Chelsea, get beat by Brentford, we drew with Liverpool, get beat by Sunderland, we could be finishing 7th or 8th.
I do believe
No. Just wanted to go over that statement that Heskey made, right? When he said that our signing could be the reason why we have the best attacking metric, one of the best attacking metric under Amorim. We need to be just careful when we give credit to some situation that we should not, right? I'm not saying that that might not be the case, but there's also the fact to be considered that if we have the best attacking metric, it could also not just be given to the players. It could just be also given to the way Amorim attack. We know that in Amorim's system, he creates his isolation. We have our 1v1, and that helps us create a lot of chances. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we score a lot of goal. And that might be the issue. Because now on the Carrick, clearly, I don't think we're creating as much chances as we're creating under Amorim, which demonstrate that it's not the players that is that can be factored into the chance creation. It's sometimes the approach of the coach and the way the coach attack. So we just have to be careful when it comes to those kind of statements.
Nerd and smirking.
I want to go to Helgi. Helgi, how are you? I hope you're good. Long time no see. Well, we saw you.
Hello, everyone.
For a while.
Okay, man.
Listen, how did you see last night's game? And and then the second part of the question is, do you believe all the excuses that United fans are making about that dreadful, disturbing performance last night?
I can answer the first question first because that's easy. No, not one excuse. No, not one excuse. Red card, not red card. We were getting smashed before that either way, so I don't care. No excuses. And yeah, I saw the game pretty much. I would say like everyone, but everyone has a different opinion, so I don't know. But I to be like, let's say we were down 4 or 5-0 at halftime. Would any of you say that was undeserved? And that's scary for me. So, and this is us when we have the manager bounce or everyone loves Carrick and he comes in and says shorter trainings, it's further in the day, so it's not that early trainings. Like, it's just like I've always said, like, it's the substitute vibe. Like, I've been a substitute teacher for 2 years and all the students loved me, but they didn't respect me because I just came in. If it was math, history, science, I came in, I put on Mr. Bean for 2 hours on like the screen. I just put on Mr. Bean for 2 hours, no matter what, if it was math. And they loved me. They were like, "Oh, that's Mr. Bean." They called me Mr. Bean, and they loved me. And when I said like said we have 2 hours of math. Let's say I showed 1.5 hours of Mr. Bean. The last half hour, I said, "Okay, because I showed you this, now work your ass off so I don't get complaints from the guys upstairs." And all of them, they shut their mouth, no hassle. They did their job. The reason why I'm saying this is people need to understand, like, being a substitute teacher or interim is you can't even compare it. It's like fucking dog food and human food. Like, it's not even the same. Like, Carrick coming in there, I love you, play how you want, Bruno, do what you want. The training's a bit hard, it's so tough, okay, I'll make it less tough. Oh, it's so early in the day, okay, I'll extend it. Oh, it's 3 weeks off, can I go to Dubai, can I go to New York and wear chains? Yeah, go. Like, of course. but the second he says you're on the bench, like, why? Because when he has to start making decisions, 1 game a week, by the way, so not even the substitute teacher analogy, but 1 game a week. So let's say we had 2 games a week, I would still be making the same point. But doing 3 games every day for 9 months, the planning, the traveling, the tired, leaving players out. Yeah, I'm not saying Carrick is horrible. I'm just saying, like, do people understand that he has came in, play once a week, let them do what they want, and we have played 10 games. We had played 10 games or something like that. We have 2 amazing games against City and Arsenal. After that, the Aston Villa game was decent, but After that, like every game has been shit. We have played boring football. Like so I'm not saying like everyone who wants Carrick in is an idiot. I'm just saying like, how can you put the future of United, the most important role, the manager, after 10 games where like 2 of them have been amazing, 1 good, and then rest. I'm not saying he isn't the right guy. I don't know. I can't predict the future, but I'm just saying, how can you be that sure after 10 games? Like, yeah, he's the guy. He's not Amram. Like, what? So, yeah, that's my opinion.
100%. 100%. 100%. We will not. Our complaint only come from the fact that he's being considered for the main job. That's the only issue. If he was just entering,
Look at
we
Carrick.
wouldn't be having this
Do
conversation.
you see any benefits to sticking with Carrick as a coach next season?
Playing devil's advocate, the manager realm isn't so good right now. So sticking 1 year with him, might next summer we will get someone like say we go for Irola this summer just because we want to, and the next summer a brilliant manager becomes available, but he's off limits for us because we got Irola. That could be like a benefit.
That's exactly why I want to keep Carrick.
Another benefit, what I do like about Carrick is I've changed my mind the last couple of months about a thing. So I'm really, this question, after I say this, I want Nura, Ben, like everyone to answer, because I had this opinion and now I have this. There's one thing I've changed my opinion on, like the polar opposite. And that is, I've always hated managers that don't know what they want and have like a tactical or like philosophy. Now I'm on the complete opposite side, because that's one thing I do like about Carrick in a way. I'm not saying he's an expert, but if you think about Ferguson, sometimes he played like Sam Allardyce, horrible football. Sometimes he played counter-attacking. Sometimes he played. What I viewed before, like with Ten Hag, oh, here's his style of play. Amram has a system. I've now gone to the complete opposite side, that a winner like Mourinho or like the best managers in the world, they are different to every. So that's the thing I like about Carrick. Actually, like before I said like Solskjaer and Carrick, they don't have philosophy, they don't have a plan. But now I've actually gone to the complete opposite side, that I want a manager like Ancelotti or like a Ferguson or like a Mourinho, someone who, when they play Leeds, it's a different. You all remember when we won 2-0 against Arsenal in the cup in 2011. It was Rafael, Fabio on each wing. It was Darren Gibson and O'Shea in the middle. Me and my mates were like, has he had a stroke? Has Ferguson had got a stroke? No, he had a plan. He won 2-0 with that team. So that's only 2 points I like about Carrick, that he seems like the guy who doesn't have a philosophy. He just wants to win. If he's good enough, that's up for question. But I like that part of him that is like, I don't want the Ten Hag, Amorim, the Cherby, this is my system, I'm going to stick with it. If it doesn't work, fuck off. Because I think if you're the opposite side, isn't it easier to predict when you're playing against Ange or Ten Hag? When they play this way, you can predict the weaknesses. I think it's easier to like set up your game plan for managers who have a certain style of play. So that's my only 2 points.
Okay, I want to ask the third question. Do you rate Steve Holland and Woodgate?
And Evans, the experienced Evans, just played yesterday, and now he's a coach in one of the biggest clubs in the world. I think that is also like, if I am the board and you want to have Carrick, like get rinsed of all this, get the best assistant coach in the world from Italy or Germany, get the best set piece coach, get the expert team around him. Like I'm not saying I want that, but I'm just saying that would have made it better. But just the team around him, like I wouldn't even trust them to be like my cab drivers. Like no. So yeah.
What do you think about Carrick's in-game management?
I don't even know what to say.
But you want to play Devil's advocate and keep him a Manchester United fan of the season?
No. If you ask me what points, those were the only 2 points that can speak for him in my mind. But if you ask me what points that speaks against him, I can give you 100 right now. So no. But yeah, in-game management. The one thing I've always like, you can disagree. Me and Ben can disagree. Me and Luani can disagree. Me and you. But when 99% of the earth, like Liverpool fans or City fans, if everyone is watching that game and agreeing on something, that's mismanaging. That's not someone do this, someone do that. Like yesterday, like bringing Mbumo on in the seven, how do you say it?
70th minute.
70th minute.
Yep.
It's like, what? It's watching Ugarte struggle the whole game. It's one of my favorite players in the team is Masraoui. He had the worst game I've ever seen him play for United. I would have taken off at halftime, even though it's for Dalot, and I love Masraoui. But the things yesterday was a real like eye opener. It didn't change my mind. I've been very clear on what I think about this all of the time. Like Carrick should be the step in because we don't know what to do, and then we reassess in the summer. He was never going to get the job in my opinion, but yesterday was like, that was a shit. Like the team he picked was horrible. Like why bench Ahmad for Mbumo? No, the other way around. And Euro and Martinez, you were thinking, what's the biggest weakness of Euro? What's the biggest weakness of Martinez? It's aerial. It's physical.
Aerial.
And you're playing against Calvert-Lewin. Like, no matter what you think, like, I think Maguire's shit. I think he's best. I think this. I think, like, everyone agrees.
Maguire suspended, brother.
Yeah. I'm just saying, heaven with Euro would have been much better. Or,
I agree with you.
or for example, when you play Ugarte, you don't have Maino anymore. What's going to be an issue then? The midfield. Then start Mbumo. So the centrally, like don't start Sesko that game if you're planning on that. If you're planning on starting Ugarte, maybe in the game, be creative. Take Lisandro in the midfield. Take off Ugarte. Put in Heaven. Like I want to see intelligence. I want to see reading the game. Like that's why I laughed when he said in-game management, because I thought it was like I said, we all disagree and agree on stuff. But when everyone, no matter what you think, agrees on something, that's poor engagement. Like everyone saw that there was dodgy, like the starting 11 and the way you do things, like no changes in half time when we could have been 4-5-0 under at half time at Old Trafford against Leeds, and you don't make one change. That's mental to me. So yeah.
I agree that lineup was trash.
Yes.
It was awful, and he's done that a few times. His in-game management has been iffy more than a few times.
Yes. And also, I think he is very good at starting Mbumo on top. Like when we did it against City and Arsenal, I thought it was the perfect plan, and it worked perfectly. But after that, he is so good at choosing the wrong games to start Sesko and bench Sesko. He is so good at, like, literally the games where he should have started Mbumo and Ahmad, he starts Sesko. And the other games, he does the quite opposite of what basically everyone thinks. Like, this game needed us to pack the midfield because Ugarte is a liability. So this game, I think I would have benched Sesko and had Ahmad and then Mbumo. So we like pack it and like press centrally and compact. And other teams, well, we should have played Sesko. Then he plays Mbumo, and Mbumo, people are like, oh, Mbumo's been shit for months.
Yeah.
I think he's very good at picking the wrong team for the wrong opponent. So yeah.
My issue is that I think Carrick is a stopgap. I don't think he's the main guy to carry us forward. I said it in the chat many times. We're not getting another Sir Alex. I don't think Carrick is that guy. I don't. But I think he will settle the club enough and get us into that mood of winning and actually attracting good players and being in the Champions League. If we can do that for 18 months, and we can actually get an Enrique or You know, I think we really need to be settled instead of. He made the point about us swinging the pendulum from getting these managers that have a grand idea of how to play, and then getting these managers that are like, you know, substitute teachers that are just chilling. And I think we need to be open at United to sacking managers, letting people
Yes,
go when it's not
yes.
working, and stopping to keep these people forever. Like we kept Ten Hag and Amorim forever when we could all
Yes.
see that the thing was
You
done.
see,
We've
You
had
see, me,
seven. We've had
honestly,
six
I don't.
full-time managers, and we've gotten rid of, I think, 5 or 6, 7.
But we always get rid of them at the wrong time. We always
Yes.
wait too long.
You see, me when it comes to elite club, right? I don't believe in
By the way,
stopgap. I don't believe in stopgap.
not
I believe that any manager that
Do
states
you
his
not
claim,
believe is
No,
Arbeloa not a stopgap for Madrid? Do you think Arbeloa is the long-term manager for them?
I
Because
don't
they
know
want
how
to
the
win.
I don't know how the structure of Madrid is set up, right? But I believe that any
Madrid
manager
is
that
like
comes to-
United. Madrid is about winning and glory and going on the front foot.
Oh Jesus, Madrid's like United.
So,
Are they not like United?
okay,
We share a
Yeah.
lot. And our histories are very similar.
okay.
Can I
Maybe
say
we-
No,
something?
I just believe that any manager that states his claim to the United job have to believe that he can take us to the promised land.
Yes.
And
I think-
don't believe in
I
the
think
manager before the
I
manager.
think if we get him good enough players, he may even get in a title race. I think Carrick is good enough to get in a title race.
okay.
If
You
we
know
get
what?
him,
Last word.
have
oh
you seen
my
how
God.
bad?
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
this league
No,
is?
no,
Oh
but-
my
Ben,
God.
come
Go
on,
ahead,
man.
Can I say
LG.
something?
LG.
Can I say something?
Honestly,
Yeah.
Donda, you're
Yeah,
absolutely
please.
trolling me right now. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
I
LG.
just want to say like with Luani, he said like United shouldn't have stopgap, and I agree. And what you said, the first thing you said, not the last thing, but the first thing you said with the L, I agree with the stopgap thing, and I also agree with Luani, and I'm going to explain why. It's just because my fear is that if we get, let's say, Irola or something, they will be so stubborn to fire him. So my issue is if we don't get like a Luis Enrique or like a brilliant manager now, I don't want us to just rush to whoever to. But I agree at the same time with Luani, we shouldn't be a club that has a stopgap. But also, if I ask you, Luani, would you rather fire Carrick, get Iraola, and he is shit, and they are sticking with him for 2 years because they are like don't want to admit that? That's my fear, that we just go for another manager.
They always say we invested in the project. And we
Yeah.
have to see it through.
That's my fear. That I feel like if we go for Carrick, at least if we don't find what we want, if we go for Carrick like for a year, and the next year no one will like moan, or if Luis Enrique gets. So that's I'm kind of stuck in between. Like I don't want Carrick, but also I don't want to go with like a Glasner or like Iraola, and then that's Ineos, like they are really betting on him. It goes shit, and then we miss out on a good manager. So I'm stuck between those two things, really.
This is the job for the board. You see, I believe that when appointing a manager, the body of work of the manager should speak for itself. That's why when I look at Iraola,
Yes.
his body of work speaks for itself. He's been up and down with
Does it?
yeah, he's been up and down, and he's accomplished a lot more in terms of his playing style and in
Maybe
terms
that
of
Carrick,
performance.
but he's not United level. He's not.
Who? Iraola is not United level.
He's not.
Carrick is amazing.
What is
No,
what is
Carrick
Beautiful.
is not, but Carrick is in the job and he's getting results. I'm not
You
saying
know-
Carrick is United level. He's getting
Okay,
results.
listen, guys, I need to go to bed and to be
Yeah,
over
big
early.
on man.
I'll go to Luani. Luani, it's the last topic of the show. Just yes or no, and your final words. Are Arsenal gonna bottle the league again?
No, I don't think they will.
Mm.
The
Boo.
reason, no, I don't think they will.
Boo.
Look, I don't think they will. I'm for people who deserve, who get what they deserve. Arsenal has been in the hunt for the past 4 years. They've been second best. They've been close. They bottled it a few times, and I think that when you have that level of consistency, challenging at that level, it's just a matter of time before you win it.
One more question: if they win it, would they be the worst defensive, boring side to ever win the Premier League?
Absolutely no.
Okay.
Absolutely no. And I can tell you why, because I think that they play
this
a
dream.
system that people call boring, but second to the football that Bournemouth play, they are the best, not progressive team in the league, but they control every outcome of the game that they play. Forget about their free kick routine and all those shenanigans. Arsenal is one of the best team in the league that control outcomes. I've never seen them fall. I've never seen them fall to a score. Have you ever seen them? How many games they played beaten by 2-0 or 3-0?
Okay. Go ahead, Eski. Are they going to bottle it? And would they be the most boring team in if they do?
Last word from me, Dan, I'm going to bounce. Yeah, they're shit, man. They're trying to play WrestleMania every week and they're getting found out. Yeah, they're going to bottle it, lose it at the Etihad, and they probably lost it. Yeah, man. Yo, safe, guys. I'm out.
I love that he went after that.
You're mute, Nerd. You're
Go
mute,
ahead,
Nerd.
Thunder.
I wish they would bottle it, but I really don't know. I just need to see that game at the Etihad. They're negative. They're very scared. They're the opposite of what United should be, and I hope they do bottle it.
Okay, big up. Go ahead, Ben.
I mean, what Arsenal stand for, like the actual club itself. I actually don't mind them. Like, I actually want them to win the league. I do. I generally do want them to win the league. The only thing that's really putting me off big time, and it's really pissing me off, is their fan base. The fact that I'm hearing quadruple, then a domestic treble, then a treble, then it's when they lose, it's our fault. It's like rival fans' fault for like criticizing Arteta and this, like that and that. It's just fucking laughable, man. And look, if it wasn't for the Arsenal fan base, you know, I would be all for Arsenal winning the league because I hate our next door neighbours. I hate them cheating bastards. You know what they are. So I'm all for Arsenal win the league, man. But do I think they're gonna bottle? Of course, bro. You know, what's the difference between Arsenal and the Spurs? They're just ball jobs, both of them. They're literally next door neighbours. So yeah, man. Yeah, I just want Arsenal to get the job done, man. Now the Champions League side of things, I want Arsenal to bottle that because I want them to have a fat zero in their name with European trophies, man. I do not want them to win the Champions League, but yeah. And last word for me, man. Big up to yourself, Nerd, every time, man. Allowing everyone to come on and share their views and stuff, man. Big up to the chat, man. Run up the likes, man. Good seeing you again, Helgi, and big up to you, Luana, and your wee high vis, man. Your wee high vis. But yeah, man. I think that people. I just want to say one more thing. People say about the project, like Carrick's project, Ineos's project. I still think we're still seeing the same project and like same system, like, you know, in terms of Man United, because until I see Man United move from a two-man midfield, like a double pivot, to a flat three, then I can then say, right, we've actually changed the project, we've actually changed the system and all that shit. Then I'll then say, right, okay, let's see how they adapt, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's just my 2 pence. Glitter's right, Ineos right. Yeah, and fuck Jim Ratcliffe, fuck the whole Glazer family, man, wherever they are, man. They've ruined this football club. They've ruined the fan base. They've gaslighted every single one of us, man. And yeah, big up, man. Free Palestine, free Iran, free everyone that's oppressed. And solidarity and love to the people of Lebanon. I know Bombay has family relatives over in Lebanon. Solidarity and love to you, Bombay, and your family or friends or whoever's over in Lebanon at the moment. And to you, Nerd, and if you have any friends to Nerd. And
Yeah, I've got friends. Man.
Nerd doesn't have
in
friends.
Iran and Lebanon. Yeah, solidarity and love for them. Jarvis, if you want to continue, have a little chat with them.
Yeah, I know you're wrapping up. I just wanted to jump on for 2 minutes and say hi to you guys and all of that. So you don't have to prolong the show for my sake.
No, but you can close it out. I can go and have my last say.
I need to say a thing to Jarvis.
If you're tired, that's okay, Nordin. Jump off, and I'll end the stream.
No. Arsenal, for me, I wanted them to win the league. They might control games, and this obsession to control football games it's the worst obsession I've ever seen from anybody, any football team. They are by far the most negative football team
True.
to ever win a league. And for that, because I'm a football purist, for that, let City win the league, man. I just can't
Wow,
take,
City.
I can't have it. I can't have the negative dog-shite football. Play for corners. Play for corners. I can't have that. I can't have a team winning the league because it changed. It turned the league into WWE wrestling.
Yes.
That's what it turned the league into. I can't have it. Regardless how much I hate City or Liverpool, when they play good football, as a football purist, I actually like entertainment. Tonight, I watched the game. Watch the first half if you can find it. Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid. What a game. Barca got cheated again.
Brilliant.
But honestly, what a game. End to end, punch for punch, level of intensity, level of skill. When I watch Arsenal, I swear to God, I'm not going to lie to you.
Come on, Odin.
On the weekend, I think, what was it? I think it might have been weekend. I was falling asleep and I took my laptop to bed. And I literally fell asleep when the highlights were on. And you know what? I've got ADHD. I have struggled to sleep, but watching them really knocked me out. Luwani, I'm sorry.
Come on,
fundamentally disagree. Arsenal
Come on,
played
Odin.
the worst football of any team tried to win a league. And you know what? We've had Jose teams here. I remember Jose went all attacking against, he went super attacking in the league when he came back. They got beat by Spurs, then he reverted back to type for the last 4 months of the season. I remember Conte started off very defensive. Cesc Fabregas was sat on the bench, got him into the team somehow. Diego Costa had that connection. They want to score goals and win games.
They wanted City to win the league.
This will be the dollars. Listen, they're playing better football than Arsenal at this moment.
No.
Second again,
wanting them to win the league. They sent the wrong message.
And also
like having people buy the league. It's almost like
they've been buying the league, and nobody in the Premier League are going to try to hold them to accountability. I'd rather just see Jerky play a bit of magical football. He's a magical footballer.
He's a beautiful.
And I talked about him, and I said United should go and get him. But they
we didn't.
Could have had him for 30 million. But this is where we are. But anyway,
second again, ole.
Good
big up, guys. I'm away.
Big up.
I guess, I don't know. It depends on how we all consume football. When I watch Arsenal, I watch a team that defend well, they press well as a team, and they attack well as a team. They might not be creating the most flurry or the most amazing chances or gracing us with beautiful football, but they play as a team. Their press game is on point. They are and they're not as pragmatic as people tend to say. Their way of being pragmatic is just controlling the football, and I like that way of playing football. They don't mind recycling the football, and they attack on their own term. It's also a way of playing football. It's okay.
We talked about this yesterday after the stream, you and me, Luani, and talked about managers and the lack of patterns we see, for example, now on the Carrick. You know, we play with a fluent front four. We all know this. We have Cunha and Bumo, Bruno, Ahmad interchanging positions all over the place, but we don't have any structure in how we attack. And if you look at, for example, Bournemouth and Iraola, how rigid, how they actually attack as a unit, and we also concluded yesterday with what's the strongest, a group of good individuals or a strong collective. And for me, I think always the collective is the strongest. You know, I think they will perform better over time. When you rely on individual players, Nora didn't say this all the time. You know, he was very critical to Ten Hag, for example, who just relied on Bruno playing to Rashford running through, scoring goals. If you base all your game around two players, you will suffer in the long run. And I think players, a manager like Iraola, he will set up his team to make the whole team function as a team, as a unit, as a strong unit. And I think this is what we lack with Man United. I would gladly take Iraola if it was up to me, because I think Carrick is not is out of his depth. He's very static in the way he plays right now. Very static. It's almost like we're banging our head against the wall every time we play against the back five, because all the other managers, David Moyes, we saw Daniel Farke do this. We saw Espirito Nuno Santos, West Ham do this. Every time we play against a strong, I don't want to call it a low block, because it's not even a low block. It's a compact block.
Yeah.
I think that's the more correct terminology. And you sit with the back five, and you have a front four just trying to find space, running all over. But you always have the +1 for the defending team, because you are 5 against 4. It's in a press play. Our press play is terrible because we don't commit enough men. We don't have a plan. We just run as individuals, headless chickens. We saw it against Leeds. We couldn't even press them. Leeds played like prime Barcelona at times, playing out from their back.
Yeah.
And we allowed them. And it's not about the players, because we know Cunha, we know Mbuma, we know Bruno. They are brilliant players. But they don't have a leader, a guy who's on the sideline, shouting at them, telling them, this is the plan, this is how we're going to do it. And it's about the war between control and freedom. And I think a lot of these players, they just want freedom and think they can just use their brilliance individually. But in the long run, we will lose out. So for me, we need a better manager.
Same, and also maybe the ability to also, when you obviously go into a match, you have a plan, whatever. But like, just to pick on what you said, like, also I felt the extreme lack of like adapting to situations under Carrick. Like generally, like when something happens, it's almost like, I'm not going to say he looks clueless, because everyone can look how they want on camera, but it's just like, I like managers who like respond, or you can see, like you say, with shouting, or you like see a response in like terms of tactical like adaptation, like, okay, this isn't going, we should try something different. And I don't feel the creative side of him there.
And also, Mohammed, I think you make a good point. This is what I was trying to say. We have no plan to break down a compact or low block teams who sit deep, because we can't find any space. We don't find a solution. And for me, I think Carrick needs to rethink his plan. What we are doing right now, we are doing the basics. We're doing the basics, and we're sitting in a 4-2-3-1. We defend in a 4-4-2. That's very good. Our defense is quite good. All the basics are doing well. This is Steve Holland. This is Holland and Southgate with England.
Yes.
But when it comes to attack, we look so static. We have nothing. We have no
100%.
patterns. Because
100%.
what I would like, how you break down a low block. Okay, first of all, you have to pass the ball quicker, and you need to have runs, deep runs, because you are 4 against 5, and you have to come with deep runs, diagonal runs all the time, trying to stretch them out. If that's not working, if they stay compact, let's say they have 3 DMs in front of that back 5, so the central area is blocked out, then you have to go around, because you have to find a way to attack, and you have to go around, and then you have to just double up on both flanks, and you have to have strong aerial threats in front of goal. That's one opposition. Or we have to have the technical brilliance as Barcelona and PSG, but we don't. We don't. We have limited players. So again, we got to find something. And for me, Carrick has been doing this. We saw it since game week 3 with Carrick. And if we go through Man United and the games under Carrick, you can clearly see, if we look behind the results, if we look at the games, we played against West Ham, we drew. Let me just bring it up. Manchester United. So we can
it's
go
good to see you again, Luani. It's been a while.
Same.
It's good to see you again. I smiled when I came live and saw you were there. I had a It's like kids. It's like kids. You're not supposed to have favorites, but I do love you. I do love you.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you.
Even though
This is the bromance.
yes, even though I often disagree with you, I
Yeah.
think but I think often the points you're making, like, you say it in a good way, and then I will still be like, I disagree, but I love people like disagreeing and challenging my views. So yeah, it's
Thank
good
you.
to see you again, and I hope you're well.
Thanks. Thank you. Same. As
Okay,
well.
guys. I just want to go through the games under the first two games, City and Arsenal. That was the release. We played
Yes.
really good football those two games, and players under the rigid Amorim system. He wanted his diamonds and triangles all the time, 3-4-3. So the players probably felt relief when we could play just basics and they had the freedom to express themselves. So the first two games went well. We won. So nothing to complain about. The Fulham game, we won the game 3-2. I think Fulham in that second half, they had Sanderberg, they had what's that guy?
Lukic.
Iwobi and Lukic, they gave us big problems. The Spurs
Was
game,
that
we won the game
that
2-0.
Sesko scored in 96th minute, I think.
Yes. Late
Yes.
goal from Sesko. So the Spurs game, Romero got a red card. That first half, Spurs had fully control on us. The West Ham game away, Nuno Espirito Santos, we couldn't produce anything.
Yes.
We were lucky. The Everton game against David Moyes, we banged our head against the goal. Sesko saved us again. I think it was Sesko. The Crystal Palace game, they had played Conference League or Europa League the Thursday before, and I think it was a Saturday game, so they had like two games rest. So in that second half, after struggling, and Palace had a red card. Newcastle game, we lost. The Villa game, okay, 3-1, that's a strong result. Bournemouth, we both know, 2-2, and Leeds. So again, when you look at the results, a lot of wins. But when you look at the performance behind it, it's very worrying. And if we are going to keep Carrick for another season, I think we are in for a very bumpy ride. So this is my take. So where are you guys? And also you guys in the chat, come in with your comments. Carrick, Iraola, who do you want?
You see, Husky say, Hergis talked earlier about the fact that when you have, he prefer a system that have like the players are not, in which the players are not that rely on the players, because it's not such a predictable outcome when you give the freedom to the players to express themselves. This is where I start having an issue when you go too far that way. I believe that when you have players are always inconsistent. Like Jarvis said, they're easy to read. And when you have video session during the week, if you're a left back, you can watch the opposing winger that you'll be facing, and then you can study them. You can say that, you know what, this guy he'll try to sell me the outside, he'll cut back inside and shoot eventually. You can read Cunha in a certain way, and you can learn how to defend him. You can learn how to defend Bruno as well, saying that if Bruno is not facing the other goal and he's back to goal, he cannot put that ball over the top. So you can just stay on him. You can predict certain situations like that. But when it's system-based, it's harder to predict. It's harder, I believe, to prepare for a system, because every time a system gives the options to the players, 1, 2, or 3 options, it's so hard to predict because you don't know which direction they're going to pass into. That's why when I watch Bournemouth, one thing that Iraola have succeeded in doing is when they have anybody carrying the ball at any area on the pitch in front of them, there is a lot of movement, a lot. That's why it gives the ball carrier so much room, because of all those movements. The opponent really have to, it's almost, I don't know how to say, it's almost as if
guessing game.
Guessing game is almost as good as breaking the line with a pass, but they're breaking the line with the guy who's carrying the ball. He literally running into space unchallenged, and by the time anybody tried to challenge him, the whole thing, the passing lanes are already open. That's why we don't do enough with Carrick, because you see our main players, our good players, they will put their foot on the ball and then they stationary. If Kobe is playing, he disguised that stationary thing, because Kobe is always on the move. He's always dropping shoulder and making him look.
Yeah, and he knows how to get out of
exactly
areas.
He know how to sell something and open up space.
And Kobe's strength, is very good at close proximity. He comes close to the players. He likes to have short, intricate passes. Because he knows he can come out of tight positions. Kobe is very confident when it comes to this, and it helps out the team, because when the rest of the team is static, Kobe can just fix it.
Do that.
That's
but
his
when
strength.
you have a player like Ugarte, for example, who cannot carry the ball that elegantly and cannot sell those kind of things, then it becomes a static affair. He put his foot on the ball 1-2 seconds late, and then he do a backward pass, or he do like a sideways pass. That's why I think that the system, if the system is good enough, so if you transpose Ugarte into an Iraola system, for example, he will have the passing options, or because of the runners that are in front of him, he will have that way of dynamically carrying the ball and having these options. So
yeah, you make a good point. And we also talked about yesterday, a little bit about, for example, a player like Ahmad, because Ahmad's strengths, when he played like a wing back, he have the space in front of him, you have more space, and he can like stay quiet for himself, and he will be able to take on the man, because when we shifted play, we did it under Amorim a lot of the time, shifted play from one side to the other. Then Ahmad is set up 1-against-1. We hardly do this in this Carrick system. We play a little bit more pass to feet rigidly. We move the ball up, and we don't set up Ahmad 1-against-1. It's most likely Ahmad 1-against-2. And at back five, you have the wing back dropping down and the wide center back. So again,
and sometimes the central midfield also. So it comes almost like a 2.5.
And then you don't have the it's not Ahmad's strength, to take on 3 guys. He's very technical, a good dribbler, but he's not strong enough. Look at Cunha on the other side. He can gladly take on one guy, 2 guys, 3 guys. He doesn't care, because he's brute force.
Good night, Mohammed.
And you can add technical ability also. So again, there's a difference. So Ahmad doesn't suit this Carrick system for me. And then you can see clearly Ahmad's performance are dropping. And I wouldn't be glad if I was Ahmad if Carrick was staying on, even though he plays, because he's not playing to Ahmad's strengths.
Can I say with Luwani, I think you made very good points. Like I agree and disagree at the same time with the points, because I think good night. Because I think the points you made were so good, because I agree with a lot of it. Like I'm somewhere in between, that I don't want a manager who is just super tactical, like in the way that it's very rigid, but also like you say, this system is like just do what you think at the time, just find it out as we go. And I don't want that either. So I agree with you, like if you have a system, you put up players to be like, then you can be creative. So I agree with you there, like, but we never get to that stage.
Within the frames of the system.
Yes.
That's the thing. You can't just say you have all the freedom in the world. We play a 4-4-2. You do whatever you want.
That's what he does now, basically.
Yeah.
It's like every time I see, the only one I see kind of having a plan in his head. Okay, not the only one, but I feel Bruno, when you see him, when you watch it, when Bruno receives the ball, you can see kind of, even though it's from afar on the pitch, he thinks like, okay, what should I do? Or what he does. That doesn't mean he always does the right thing, but I see every time like Shaw gets the ball, like or Masraoui or Dalot or like whoever on the pitch. So I'm not singling out anyone, but you see Ahmad, when he receives the ball, they look up and they're like, then they're trying to figure out what to do. and then you're already kind of lost in the Premier League.
100%.
Yeah, so I agree with you. Like, if you have a system and like a baseline, when that's kind of installed in the brains, position-wise, how we do, then they get the creative side out of them. So I agree with that. I just don't want a manager who's like Amorim. He was kind of like, I felt
He was too rigid. Yeah, he was very particular in how he wanted to play, and he was so stubborn. Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a fine line between I want the system, but I don't want a too hard system. I want freedom. It's like the story with the three bears, like not too soft, not too hard, just right in the middle. But yeah, that's what I want as well. So I don't have any Carrick hate, or I love the guy. Like, I would be his mate, like as a person, as a human being, as a player. Like, I have every time in the world for that guy. Just me saying I don't want him.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter, you know. It's a competitive sport, you know. If Carrick was an asshole, who cares? You know, if he was the best manager,
exactly.
I wouldn't care.
Exactly.
I don't need him to be the nicest guy in the world. I just want us to win and play good football.
And the fixtures you showed, like, even if you want Carrick or not, when you go through the fixtures like you did, if anyone is like very Carrick in and heard Java speak there, like, okay, 10 games, we had 2 good games, and then what Java said when he singled out every game. If you can say, okay, his peak is getting sacked at a championship club, and he has had 10 games at us where he has 2 good games and like 8 very bad or mediocre. If you can say, I want United to, the future of United to depend on this person based on these 10 games, I think, like, I respect everyone's opinion, but I think that's that the sample size is crazy small, and it's not a good sample size, but everyone is entitled to the opinion. But I think that's,
it feels like we are doing the same mistake as we did under Ollie. You know, when the new manager bounce fizzle out, the freedom and all of the good vibes goes away. We are stuck with a guy who's out of his depth. You know, nothing against Ollie. I love Ollie. I'm Norwegian, so again, but I felt at the time also, you know, in that 3rd season, you know, he was running out of ideas, and it was clearly so. And but guys, quick one before we wrap up the show. I'm just gonna ask you a question about yesterday and the red card with Martins. I don't know if you talked about this before in this show, but the pictures clearly show that Calvert-Lewin drops his arm and elbow into Martinez's face at the same time as he grabs hold of his shoulder and falls back, and you know, he pulls his hair. So again, you know, he got a red card for violent conduct. But there's another rule. You know, if you fight for the ball and something like that happens, it's serious foul play. So Martin has got a red card for violent conduct, and apparently we are going to protest.
Appeal.
What's the name?
Appeal.
Yes, appeal. That's the name. So we're going to appeal the red card for violent conduct. But for me, you know, that's almost impossible. So I'm just asking, technically on the rules, seriously foul play is so much easier to appeal than violent conduct. So, and according to the rules, as long as you're fighting for the ball, you're doing like a serious job to try to win the ball, and something like this happens, it's a serious foul play. And you know, that's so much easier to appeal. So for me, you know, I think the PGMOL, the VAR, and the referee made a mistake. So again, what's your take on that situation? Do you think it was a red card? Should he have done differently?
I can start this time. First of all, like I think some referees like to be the center of attention, and they also lack like common sense. Also, at the same time, I like to see things from different angles. I think it's stupid from Martinez, like, because I don't think it's a red card, but I think they give a chance. He gives them a chance to give a red card. But also, we all have been like in nightclub, or if you're standing in a queue, someone bumps into you. Like, it's a like when he got the slap in the face, it's like it's a normal reaction to just react. Like if someone, I've played football and someone does like this on the corner for me, and I shove them, and that's not normal for me, but it's just an instant reaction, like a human, not football even, but just a human reaction to slap in the face. It's like, ugh, you kind of, yeah, I think, and also I've seen people discussing, is it a hard tug, aggressive tug? My point is just that I think it isn't a red card, but I can understand in the moment if they gave a red card because it looks like hair pulling in that sense. So I just think it's stupid.
Well, the referee was without the chance. You know, they only showed him the picture from one angle, and they started the clip way too late. They didn't show the full thing.
I'm coming to that in terms of VAR was brought in to like when someone scores and then it's a clear hand. Like we have to.
Well, the clear and obvious, yes.
Yes, and since the whole world is discussing it, someone thinks it's not. Like my point is, yes, Martinez shouldn't do that, but yes, it's a human thing. But in no way is that like, you have done a massive mistake, referee. You need to go watch it on the screen, and we are going to show you no context, by the way, they didn't show it in normal speed. If you saw that, they only showed it in slow motion, where it looks like he's pulling him. But when you see it in it's just like two players just battling for it. No, Martinez shouldn't be touching his hair, but he's not tugging it. But I don't want to get into the technical things. Is he pulling? Is he tugging? Point is, this is a man's sport. We grew up with like the worst tackles. Like I loved football. That's why I love football and not handball, ice hockey. I love football because they were wearing basically no protection, with knots underneath the boots, and people like can break legs. I love that it's a man sport, and I feel like it's so soft. But if you see on the technical in the rule book, yeah, but use common sense. Like if he's hitting you in the face, you are kind of like, it's a duel between two people. Should he be touching his hair? No. Is it a red card? No. Should he be going to the VAR? No. So that's kind of my opinion on that. I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
I partially agree with you, when it comes to this, because this is one of the situations where VAR is clearly putting the pressure on the referee to make a decision, instead of basing it on his discretion on the field. By letter of the law, it's true that once his fist is clenched around the hair of Calvin Lewis, by letter of the law, you can't do that. So technically, it's a red card. But at the same time, if you leave it to the
common
discretion
sense
of the common sense, it's not like he pulled it down to snap his head or anything like that. And they're both involved in a tussle. So yes, by letter of the law, it's a red card. But at the same time, it didn't result in, you see that the incident happened quite a while ago before the VAR called the referee to go back and review the thing. So this is one of the things that's happening with VAR that I do not agree with, because once you call the referee to the monitor to go make a decision, it's almost like you giving him a get out of jail free card, because he originally, regardless of any outcome, he originally made the decision in the field that this thing does not arise to the level of a red card. Now you're forcing his hand, because after that, he can say that, you know what, it's not my fault. VAR call me in, and now I have to reverse my decision on the field and give a red card. So they need to cut this one out of the game. This side of the VAR, they need to cut it out of the game.
I agree with that last comment. Can you put that on screen? The last VAR is proxy. I agree with that so much. I agree with that so much. They nitpick. No, they're underneath that.
This one, VAR is proxy match fixing. It's about time equality. Yeah, 100%. And I was thinking it for myself. You know, they just the VAR bus just gave the decision to Paul Tierney and say this is the evidence, and they showed him this much of the evidence, and the whole story was this. And for me, you know, you can mention, words like corruption and match fixing and all of this, but the fact is, it's in the Premier League and interest to keep the excitement going for the last 6 games. Now the Chelsea game will be massive, and we have Liverpool game coming up. So they're 2 games that will keep the excitement, and it's in the Premier League and Sky Sports and all of these TV rights companies' best interest that the excitement is still going. So I'm not accusing anyone, but you can all think for yourself, guys.
What do you think about it?
Let's just look at it that way, right? When I watched the video, what I was looking for is the hand of Martinez. As soon as his hand did this, I know it was going to be a red, because if he was this on the jersey, it's not a red, it's a normal torso. But on his hair, now at that point it doesn't matter anymore, because it's almost like an extension of his body, and you can't do that.
And like Jarvis said,
but again,
they are showing this and not this.
But again, if you look at the whole picture, it's a duel between 2 guys. You have the defender and the attacker. The attacker backs into the defender. The defender, he puts his arms around him and keep the distance, because you don't want to be too close. You want to have like a half a yard or 1 yard in between you, so you have some leeway to move. If the defender, the attacker grabs you and put you totally close, you have no way to defend. You are just standing there like a squeezed, squishy. I don't know. So again, you're just fighting for your space, and also what happens, if you see the situation, Martinez, he puts his hand on the neck, and the bun, is it's like this. So he puts his hand on his neck.
Yes.
And then he gets pushed over, and he flies with both feet in the air, and he pushes his arm down with his fingers out, and he got his fingers tangled in his man bun. That's what's going on. And you see Martinez falling back, he's mid-air, landing on 1 foot, and then takes his arm away. He's not grabbing or anything. Yes, fingers open. For me, it tells me when your fingers are open, you're not grabbing anything.
Let's blame Carrick.
So again, I looked at this now like 1,000 times today, because I really wanted to figure out what was going on. So for me, clearly, it's a wrong decision. It's not pulling here. It's just a coincidence. It's what happens. It's a sport of contact.
Can I just say this, that Jarvis knows this, but I've only played 1 position my whole life. Okay, it's striker, and I was 6'2". I'm still 6'2". I haven't. And what Jarvis says, the last thing he said about the hair being down here, it seems like a stupid detail for some in the chat and for someone, but as a striker, when I had this hair, like if you see here, I have nothing to pull. It's so normal, especially when you're like a taller striker like Calvert-Lewin or me. This happened all of the time. A ball comes in, the referee doesn't see the kind of, okay, no, I'm the defender, so this is striker here. They take my collar back here and they rip it just as I'm about to head, because it's impossible for the ref. That happens every game. The point I'm trying to make is, when I grew my hair, so I had a bun at one time, and I had not the bun, but I had all the hair, so it was down here. I was getting drawn in the hair like all of the time, because you must know the pictures we're seeing there. It's not 1 second, it's 0.5 seconds. So it happened all of the time. They are watching the ball, so the striker's just grabbing the collar that I used to grab, but then it came in the hair because the hair was down there. So it's not like the reason is, I agree that you can't drag someone in the hair or whatever, but my point and Jarvis's point or whatever is that this is, if this was like a throw-in and he did this, red card, go out. But this is 2 people going out. The most normal thing that happened to me, every duel, they tried to hinder me from winning the aerial duel. So they dragged me like back. I never got a free kick from it. It worked every time for the defenders. Like and my so when I'm trying to give like the ball to the winger, it always got misangled because they are like doing this, and the ref can't see their arm behind me. So my point is, when his here is there and Martinez is looking at the ball, it's so easy. So what I'm saying now isn't rocket science. It's just common sense. If you played football, if you played with like, I'm not saying it's the biggest mistake in the world. I'm just saying in general, they lack so much of like understanding of football. Like when they gave the red card to Dalot a couple of years ago against Liverpool in the 92nd second for a missed throw where he was throwing the ball at the ground. We were losing against Liverpool, and Dalot was like, read the game a little bit, like the emotion. Like, don't give a red card to Dalot in the 92nd. I just think it's a general thing. And also the last point is, I think a thing that would have been good with VAR is maybe like the man just having like a yellow bib, that if you think this situation should be looked at, you can throw that on the pitch, the game stops, and you have to pick your moments. Because I think nowadays VAR isn't made for, I don't know, VAR isn't made for looking at it for 30 seconds. VAR isn't something that we should never discuss. VAR, by the way, we should.
I promise you, Helge, some managers will just do that to break out the rhythm of the game. If you give that to Arteta, oh my God.
Yeah, but they have won a game. So if something happens later with Gyökeres in the night, he can't pull it on. He can't ask for VAR. So you have to save it. You have to be sensible.
They are actually thinking PGML have been discussing using this rule in the future. So maybe we will see it one day. Guys, it's been a great show. I can't give you the fiery speech as Noradin always give at the end of the show. I can say free Palestine and fuck the industrial military complex, and peace to the world. So guys, it's been great. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you all the legends. Thank you Helgi. Thank you United Trucker. I don't know who's been on tonight. It's Ben and who else?
SK.
Noradin.
Eski.
Eski's been on. So all the legends as usual. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Please do us a favor, smash the like for Nuruddin. And if this is your first time on United Real Therapy, remember to subscribe. And afterwards, go in the non-live comment section after the video stream is finished, and get your comments in. I want to know actually, who do you want as our next manager? Do you want Carrick, or do you want Andoni Iraola or someone else? So guys, get your comments in after the show, and remember also to hype it. It's very important now with the modern YouTube algorithm. So thank you everybody, and we will see you on the next one. So have a good night. Bye bye.
Big up, guys. Big up.
Big up.